Thank you for bearing with us while we ran off to take our quick break. Our heroes tonight have been through the ringer once again.
The ringer known as Alex.
I gotta keep you guys on your toes, right?
Yeah.
In episode 2, yes.
I brought you some trauma.
I brought you some friendly NPCs. Oh, wait, no, they're also trauma. Here, I brought you this helpful and friendly robot.
Trauma.
Trauma.
He's helpful. He's friendly. He's not up to anything serious or sinister, probably.
Nobody believes you.
Serious or sinister, probably. The fact that you have to,
And he broke eye contact with the camera when he said that too. I noticed that.
I don't know what you're talking about. The robot is fine. Pay no attention.
You
to
have
the man
failed
behind
your
the
bluff check, sir. Your bluff check has failed.
I still want the robot.
But yeah, our heroes, they... he's for future trauma. Future trauma should be a Futurama parody show. I'm just saying.
Wait, you make a parody show of a parody show?
Yes.
Oh, that was a ship I should have been the pilot of.
Planet Express ship.
It's a good ship.
Ah,
However, our heroes managed to traverse down into the den of the acid borer matriarch, where Ursa was almost killed tragically before Chimera valiantly rescued her from the acid pit, and they retrieved their cylinder. They also were taken upstairs to get some treatment on behalf of Watson, the very trustworthy preserver robot.
Wow.
He's adorable.
nice.
Natural one on your bluff check.
But most of our heroes noticed him taking a blood sample from them after he cured them of their ailments.
You see what he did there, Ursa? Most of the heroes noticed.
Most of them.
Throwing
We're not good
shade.
enough for him.
Throwing shade.
I don't know how dice work. But our heroes had a quick little confab inside their brains to talk about what they should do about it. I don't know that they came to a conclusion necessarily. And they started making their way through the desert with their cylinder, trying to finally deliver it to Mama Kiger. Did I catch everything?
Sounds about right.
Perfect. So, I won't make you guys roll. You guys already rolled to finish this leg of the skill challenge, so you are able to safely make it across. It takes about another 2 hours of traversal with Watson humming cheerily behind you. I'm named after my father.
Wow.
He's lies on his mother's side.
It's hyphenated.
Yeah, it's hyphenated. I'm actually Alexander Lies and Deception Thomas Jr. Yeah, so you guys easily make it the rest of the leg of the journey carrying the cylinder. You don't suffer any more setbacks or
Complications.
scene lengtheners. And you find yourselves standing outside of a drainage tunnel. You can see the city ahead of you at this point. The sort of tall spires and various buildings of Starhaven proper. You're just on the outskirts of it, still in the green zone. You're led in. You do notice Gluza from your first meeting with Mama Kiger's people standing outside of the tunnel waiting for you. She makes eye contact with you. She ushers you over, and all of you are able to bring the cylinder in. Did you have a lot of trouble getting this?
Procuring? No. Keeping is another story.
Well, lots of things like to eat these Sarkeesian eels. It doesn't surprise me. Bring it on in. We'll inspect everything and get it all situated for Mama.
We find it curious that they know what the Sarkeesian eels are stored in, and when stored in vacuum, when stored in vacuum, no smell should escape.
What'd you get attacked by?
Acid borers?
Oh, those things will eat anything. You're lucky they didn't eat you.
Yes. Lucky.
Look over the twins.
Yeah, look over the twins.
Ursa literally just like lets out this high pitched chuckle and looks over at Alara.
As like
Certainly feel lucky.
it's like Mama Kiger's agent is really not paying attention to the completely disheveled and acid torn clothes on both of the moon twins.
Well, bring it on in. We'll get it all set up for you. Then Goza will lead you into this small dugout, sort of safe house. There's a couple of bunk beds off to the side. You can see a couple of racks of off the shelf blaster rifles, and there are three more people who look just like Goza, sort of 3 foot tall, shark-headed humanoids with bulking limbs. They all look like various shades of Galuza.
Are they all wearing a different color sundress?
Galuza's the only one wearing a sundress. There is one
Aw.
wearing sort of military fatigues, kind of gray camo pants, like gray camo cargo pants, and has a red bandana wrapped around her forehead. And then there's a couple that are wearing more what you would associate with like street hackers, sort of vests, lots of pockets. They have a couple of different technological pieces hanging off of them. And there is a garage for a speeder bike, or sorry, a land speeder, just off to the right. And they'll lead you all in. They'll bring you into the sort of central chamber where you can see they've set up a hookup for the vacuum cylinder that you can install it. And they'll take it off your hands and they'll begin the installation process. And Galuza will say, "Come on over here, walk over, and we'll get Mama in touch."
Oh, we'll follow along.
Lead the way.
She'll lead you into the back room where there is a large circular hologram table. Yeah, that's right. What's wrong with your brain, Alex? Okay. There's a big circular display table where Mama Kiger's form is waiting translucently for you. Tell me, how did it go with Stod and with bringing everything down here for me today?
Good tip the hat kind of thing to her. Stod was running into little problems when we arrived, but we helped take care of that.
What sort of problems?
Spacing in the name of the ship.
The the space pirate alligator kind.
The space pirate alligator kind. Must be that Bran Cardone fella. Trying to make a name for himself. Well, nothing to be done for it. I trust you were able to defeat this pirate and bring my cargo.
Would we be here if we had not?
If you were smart, you didn't have it, you'd have come here instead of running off to hide.
Yes, but would we not be more supplicant had we failed?
I suppose. Well, how about I throw in a few extra credits for your troubles, and she'll push a couple buttons. And Flynn, you see 2,500 credits appear in your account on your datapad. It was mighty fine of you working with me on this project. I'd be interested in working with you again if you're looking for more work.
Well, as long as the docs are looking for for people to pay their fee, then I'm looking for work.
I suspect they are going to be looking for people to pay those fees for a long time. If you work a couple more jobs for me, maybe I can help you get around that.
Ooh.
Do you speak for your whole crew here, Captain Flynn?
I
You know
turn and look at the team.
you know where to find us and how to get a hold of us, Mama Kiger. We are not opposed to working for you again, should we be short of work from other sources.
Well, you let me know if that Trinity stops giving you work to do, because I can always get you just good runners on my side.
Well, we're certainly interested in doing more if the pay is good. And I imagine it will be.
I had fun.
And also, it's fun.
Excellent. Blues, please go ahead and give these fine folks a contact number for you. And collect the likewise information from them. Y'all best be getting back to Starhaven. Apparently there's some hubbub getting ready to happen down at the spaceport. You want to be here before it happens.
That's good too.
What's going on?
There's some kind of delegation coming in to visit.
Delegation from where?
You know, I didn't collect that information. I believe it's an Imperium delegation.
Ursa sort of looks at Alara with like wide eyes.
Imperium. Don't know how to react to that. Going to try not to.
Okay.
Delegation with the trade fitter.
Well,
Roger.
maybe we
This
maybe
is
we shall
critical
see how.
again. Now the two of them.
Maybe on our way back we will see if Corporal Lance has gotten the IFF indicators synced properly.
If you know something about that Corporal Lance fella, you let me know. We're always looking for weak links.
Well, we believe he might be a tough nut to crack. And she kind of smiles.
Very well. And Mama Kiger will bid you all adieu and disappear. Guzza will look up at you guys to say, now that you're not traveling with the canister, we can load you up in a speeder and give you a ride back to the edge of the dome so you can get back to the Marion.
We would appreciate that.
Awesome. And she'll sort of, she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a smart comm. And you hear a boop noise as she gets in touch with Gluria. She says, come over here, Gluria, and give our friends here a ride back to the dome. And that's the little Rambo-looking sister of Gluza? It's hard to tell. They all kind of look like Mama Kiger.
Just smaller versions of.
Yes. And Gluria will load up into the land speeder, give you all a ride back to the dome and back to the Marion, where you are free to exit the dome and make your way across the fields of Europa back into the ship. And Watson will buzz behind you if you will allow him.
Jetson's flight noise.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that works, right?
Should we all go see about this delegation that's coming in?
We would like to be back in port before they shut this down. If it is an official visit from something important, they won't let anyone in or out until they have secured it. We do not wish to stay out for much longer if we can avoid it.
So load it up onto the Miriam and head on out. Head back to Starhaven.
Perfect. You guys buzz off back to Starhaven. You have a little bit of time before you make it back to the starport. If there's anything you guys would like to talk about.
Captain, is your ship equipped with tracking software that keeps record of where your ship has been?
It is, but for some reason it's always on the brink. It never seems to report properly.
Aelin will
kind of
will
half smile.
Aelin will incline her head. We wondered, almost as though the same thing occurred when we ran into Corporal Lance with the IFF. No,
Well, she's a slightly older model, and it's hard to get reliable parts for it sometimes. And you know how it is. You know, secondhand parts, they tend to short out sometimes. And you know, as long as it's not a critical system, then you know I have to put the money in the most critical systems, obviously, like life support
and
shields.
entertainment. Aelin will spin the chair and kind of look. I'm assuming we're all up on the bridge.
I suppose.
Probably.
Well, how are you two feeling?
Yeah.
Much better. Much better now that we're out of that cave.
Yes. If I see acid again, it'll be too soon, regardless of what it is.
Though, wouldn't mind finding somewhere to get cleaned up. Captain, I don't suppose you have, like, showers anywhere on your ship.
Down by the I guess I should give you the tour. Downstairs, I do have crew area. Not much, but you know, I get a little bit of space for you know sleeping and other necessities.
It would be preferable to standing in our own mess for this whole trip.
Yes, maybe Sir Flynn can show you where those are, and then I'll shower after you.
Well, I'm sure Flynn can just give us the tour both at the same time.
I actually wanted to talk to Chimera some more, so you
Oh,
go ahead.
really? Had a deep conversation planned then?
Yes, I did actually have one planned.
Captain, with your permission, I would like to sync up with the ship's logs.
Gonna have to hold off on that for a moment.
That's fair. I haven't installed my latest antivirus.
We think that is speaking ill of the Marion to assume you would get some sort of disease from syncing with her.
It's just she's not quite what I expected from a preserver-descendant ship.
We think you may need to rethink your presumptions.
She seems a little, I don't know, low tech.
The word you're looking for is retro.
No, I assure you, I'm from 50,000 cycles ago. I would know. I would know retro. Also, Wiki redeemed a hydrate because everybody's thirsty.
Yep.
Nope, just the chat.
As always.
Well, Alara, we think you should take Captain Flynn up on his offer of a tour. And she'll kind of bat her eyelashes at you and smile, showing a little bit of teeth.
Really, are you sure you won't join? Or Chimera, perhaps?
Well,
Sister, I just told you I wanted to talk to Chimera. Why?
Oh,
Sure.
yes,
And
of course.
we must stay on the bridge and make sure everything stays kosher.
I would like to inspect your Chimera unit as well to make sure it is functioning as intended.
Oh, of course you would, Watson. Well, Captain, I suppose I'm all yours then.
Laura lets out a giggle.
Because of course she does. Well, you've already seen the engineering, so and I kind of this way.
As the two walk out of the off the bridge, Aylin's gonna look over at Ursa, give her a wink, and then hide her mouth behind her hand and kind of get, and her shoulders move as though she's giggling.
I think I'm going to like you a bit more than I initially had planned to.
We appreciate how uncomfortable she looked.
My specialty is making sure that Laura is uncomfortable. Meanwhile, with Flynn and Laura.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, what's the ship?
The bowels of the ship.
Do a quick tour, basically make sure there's a little panel of and this is the med pod because I got a feeling that we're going to be needing to make sure everyone knows where this is.
oh yes.
And we do have cryo units if necessary, yada yada, and then down below and enter pop the hatch to go below is the sleeping quarters, and it's not much, but hopefully you and your sister will consider joining my crew permanently.
Well, Captain, I find your ship very charming. It's I suppose maybe a little small, but I've been in smaller places before.
Some would say it's average.
Can I ask how you came across this ship? Did you purchase it somewhere? Or...
Not exactly. I won it.
Oh. In a game or in combat?
Yes.
So it's one of those stories.
Well, yeah. She was lost to someone else in a game of chance. They turned out to both be cheating. Combat ensued. And then I left with the key and registration papers. So it is what it is.
Well, it's fortunate you have it. For all of us, I mean. Supposing we stay together, I mean, this crew, as you call it, proved very effective.
Well, I hope so. I plan on offering you, formally extending the offer to both Aelin and Chimera as well, assuming that they don't have other offers.
I think those two would be a group package. If you get one, you probably get both.
What's the impression you got?
Or those four, perhaps, I should say.
Yeah, that was a rather interesting surprise. 3 crew members for the rate of 1. I mean, more the merrier, right?
Yes. Though I wonder if that's going to affect how you distribute the credits we just got. As Alara is like trying to come up with something to talk about.
Well, I better check on the other 2 and see how they're doing and formally ask them to join before we get back to port.
Of course. And, well, what do you suppose we should do next? Maybe work for Mama Kaiga further? I would actually prefer to go back to the Preserver ruins and see what else we can find from them.
Yeah, I definitely want to know more about this Watson drone before I let him.
Well, if you want, I can take him. Just keep an eye on him for a few days. Bring him back, and then let you have some time to decide whether or not he should interface with the ship or be on his own. A separate network. I mean, unless you prefer to have his company around here, or any company at all.
No. You're gonna need someplace to crash. So I mean, we do have crew bunks for what they're worth. And I do mean bunks. They're not much, but
Well, Ursa and I have a place in the city. I'm sure we can find some room for Watson. It's not too large.
nope. Showers and you can bunk. You and your sister can bunk over in this room, and I kind of point to the one on the left. But I'll double check on the others. So
Yes, of course. And if Ursa asks any strange questions, just feel free to ignore them.
I have suspicions. So I go upstairs.
And Alara just watches him go, attempting to be subtle about it, but probably not being very subtle.
Loves to watch him leave.
Yup. Exactly what was going through my head. Slightly biting the lower lip.
Damn.
Yes, he's just really into those ears. Apparently, that's what does it for her.
Oh my god.
So
Too many
yes.
viewings of Lord of the Rings have got you horny for elves.
Well, Flynn, you make your way back to the bridge while Laura goes off to cool off. And
It's a
shower.
very cold shower.
I do believe you gave me the vapors.
Oh my.
That's right. I'm from Space, Alabama.
I think that's more Space Georgia, Alex.
Whatever. It's all the same. Somewhere the Anson part of my brain was screaming, no, it's not. Yeah, Flynn, you make your way back to the bridge. Chimera, before Flynn makes his way to the bridge, Watson's going to hover over next to you and try to make eye contact with you with his visual receptors.
His Wally style eyes.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been a Chimera unit?
GM question: how far back does my recollection go?
3 months?
Approximately 3 months.
Fascinating. Do you have any recollection of your existence before this?
I do not.
Give me an insight check, Chimera.
Oh, sure. Now you're gonna make a liar of me. Got that nice and low insight to make sure I don't get this. Oh, of course. 19.
With a 19, you get the impression that he is surprised by that. Like, pleasantly surprised that you don't remember your life before.
Interesting.
Sketchy.
Super sketch.
And tell me, which entity
I
are
will
you...
begin, in my mind, I will begin a tactical file on Watson as if he is now a potential threat.
The black voice in your brain seems to imply to you that he is not a threat.
Should
The
have
fact that
filed
the
a
black voice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the black voice is filed under a threat too. Things that cannot be explained are potential threats.
Things that cannot be explained for 500, Alex.
And Watson will say, which entity performed this operation on you?
Which operation do you refer to?
The operation that converted you into a Chimera unit.
I am unaware of any conversion. I am unaware of an existence before I was a Chimera. Or the Chimera.
You are the perfect expression of this procedure. I must accompany you. And he will look at the rest of you. Do any of you know which entity caused him to undergo this metamorphosis?
We found him like this. We know little of his past.
Fascinating.
Do you know something?
I do not know which preserver could have done this to him. I do not know which preservers are still alive.
Hmm.
Only Prophet. But Prophet was not in the habit of making chimera units.
Is there any way to find out?
Your statement would indicate there are others of my kind. That is not my impression. Are there others of my kind?
You were a common being over 30,000 cycles ago.
Curious.
I have not seen one since my imprisonment.
I must reevaluate this information.
I must also reevaluate some information. And he will turn around and Jetsons away. And he goes over into the corner and he plops down on the ground and goes inert.
I'm not one to just trust people on sight, but he does seem a little odd, doesn't he?
Watson?
Yes.
Yes. Especially with his surreptitious nature at the medical facility.
Yes.
We should keep a close eye on him. And by we, this time I mean all of us.
Will do.
And now Flynn returns to the bridge.
Ursa looks disappointed.
It's only Flynn. It's like, yeah, there's a shared look of disappointment between Aelin and Ursa.
Well, I guess I will go find my sister. And she'll sigh as she walks out and like looks at Flynn. Just gives him like side eye.
Tour went well. Pity it was so brief.
It seemed to have gone fine. I asked the twins, at least half the twins, they would be interested in joining the crew permanently.
We suspect you are extending the same offer to us.
That was the plan.
Aelin will look over at Chimera. Chimera, what would you wish to do?
I have no wishes. I will follow your lead.
What would be the most efficient response?
Most efficient to accomplish what aim?
Survival.
I do not have enough information to make an assessment on that query at this time.
Would you ponder that for us?
I will.
While Chimera ponders that, we think we could do some more than we could if we were part of your crew instead of not. So we will take you up on the offer.
Excellent. Jury's still out in the preserver toaster, though.
We were speaking to Ursa about keeping a very close eye on that one.
To a little bit more about his make and model and other things, yeah.
very much so. What would you have planned for the next operation? Or shall we just return and see what comes of this delegation?
Well, first thing is to get back in town and make sure we didn't ruffle too many feathers with that.
If we didn't ruffle too many feathers, we were not doing a good enough job. And she'll smile and kind of the smile kind of bears her fangs in slightly a playful way, but kind of in that predatory way.
Yeah, well, since they can jack up the fees and storing, docking my ship, and kind of glances around. I don't want to ruffle too many feathers. At least not yet.
Wow. As you wish.
But I'm sure Mama will have another job for us, or possibly some of the other contacts we have in the city.
I do get jobs from time to time that I would be willing to pass on to the rest of the crew. They are usually for those more in need than Mama Kiger. Usually what they can pay is little. But favors can be just as good as credits from time to time.
Where you go and something to spend more.
As you say.
Perfect. Well, Ursa, was there anything you wanted to do with Lara before we head back to port?
No, I'll just clean up after her and go back to the front of the ship. Sort of look at her disappointedly, like she didn't, sleep with the captain of the ship that she just met.
Lara avoids eye contact, knowing exactly.
Where's your sense of adventure, sister?
He's a pirate. You could have slept with a pirate. Everybody wants to try that once. Excellent. So, sorry, Deuce deprogrammed me. Flynn, you were able to bring the ship back to port just as the Challenger fighters are landing. And you're able to bring everybody down. You dock, lower the ramp, and you guys are free to enter the starport. I'm going to move over to the Roll20 overlay for no reason whatsoever.
Of course.
What?
As we're getting off the ship, you
Yeah.
said the Challenger fighters had landed.
Mm-hmm.
Is Corporal Lance among that group?
He is. He's kind of standing and addressing the other pilots when he notices the Marion landing, and he will make his way over to you guys, alongside Praetor Ashe. Praetor, once again, a very tall black woman with thick-set cornrows, the sort of blue power armor that she's wearing. She does have a rifle strapped over her back.
We did lose Kevin, by the way.
No.
And the overlay goes
happy
out.
on Twitch. You're still here.
Can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
can hear you. Your
Oh, I
face
can't
is just
Can you hear
frozen.
me?
We can hear you. Your
Hello?
face is just frozen.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Can you hear
okay.
us?
Well, it never really changed there. Yeah, I hear you guys just fine.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Praetor Ashe, who I'll just bring up once again, especially for the folks at home who may not have seen her yet. And then Corporal Lance Antilligs does head over as well. He's dressed in sort of an orange and white pilot suit. He's got a helmet underneath his arm.
Is he the leader of Rouge Squadron?
He is not the leader of Rouge Squadron. I haven't come up with a name for the squadron yet, but it's not Rouge Squadron.
What's wrong with Rouge?
You know, it's
I like
funny
that
you say that. A friend of mine used to run Star Wars role playing games, but he could not spell to save his ass for anything ever. And the smuggler ship was supposed to be the Rogue Star, but it was the Rouge Star. So the rest of us made jokes about that player being a mascara smuggler, and we may have pushed him over the edge. Like he may have murdered a family of 6 for revenge because we just pushed him over the edge. It's not a mascara smuggling ship. Like, did you just become Scottish? What happened there?
But
Isn't that special?
Andy, also in traditional X-wing pilot mode, he's sort of he's a little portly for a soldier from what you expect. He's got a bit of a pudge on him, and he does have a thick black mustache.
So, yeah, you crossed Porkins and
Cover me, Porkins.
and shoot, Luke's friend
Look
from
like Freddie
Tatooine.
Mercury.
He does kind of look like Freddie Mercury.
Biggs Dark Lighter.
Yeah, Biggs.
Biggs Dark Lighter. Yeah, turn in your nerd card, Andy. You didn't know.
I
Biggs.
know.
Come on.
Yes, I did. It just
Come on, man.
my brain is not working.
But the two of them will come over to you. Praetor will kind of look down at Flynn.
Take off my hat and do a little bow.
I understand you told the pilots that I authorized you to take a training mission.
Tom, you do what you want. I mean, Camara didn't say that. Kevin did.
I informed them that we told you that we were going to be taking our ship out. As I was doing an initial evaluation on potential crew. If I miscommunicated my intents to you, I apologize.
And Corporal Lance will look over and say, they didn't do anything bad. It's fine. There's no reason for anybody to get in trouble, Praetor. She just looks at Flynn with a severe face and says, do not presume to speak for me again, or I will impound your ship.
Lance is being awful nice. One wonders why.
Oh, snap.
What? I mean,
Is that a want to read his mind to see why question, or is that just a statement to the group?
That's what the heck? I'm nosy.
Do it.
Nosy.
Let's get on in there. Let's see what's happening under the hood.
Oh, sure. You'll do it with the corporal. You won't do it with the captain.
What just happened? What just happened there?
do not ask.
It's just a little bit of mind reading.
That's what they call it these days.
Sounds good.
All right, so he'll roll will save first. You are not able to hear anything from
Wow.
Intelligs.
Isn't it a powers roll for you, Calvin? So D20 plus your power?
So he gets an initial will save to resist the effect, and then it's an opposed roll to figure out exactly how deep he goes.
How deep down the rabbit holes?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, Alara was wondering why the corporal was being so nice. And she will not.
And she will continue to wonder why he's being so nice.
Yep.
And Praetor will look down at the lot of you, and she'll say, okay, there's a delegation coming in, so we need you to join us over here.
Of course.
We get to be part of the security detail?
No, you have to be in the audience for the presentation.
Oh, that is less fun.
And as we start heading over, I'm adjusting. I had taken my hat off and did the little bow. As I go to put it back on, I kind of block my face just in case Shay looks back over and look over at Lance and say, and mouth, "Thank you." That's it. Then I put the hat back on it.
He will give you a wink. Go ahead and give me an insight check.
I got a 20 on it. So 28.
With a natural 20 for a 28, you think that wink may have been flirtatious.
Oh. Wait, who winked at him?
The Corporal Lance.
Oh. Everybody wants Flynn.
Yeah.
That's it. And Flynn is okay with this.
I knew exactly where that was going when Alex said it, so I got my little song riff in chat.
Oh my god.
And they will take you all over, and you see there is a crowd of people that has gathered. You recognize a lot of well-to-do citizens of Starhaven. You do see there is the Prime Consul, Tamira Vaughn. She was recently elected to be the leader of Starhaven. She's kind of the president around here. There's a couple other dignitaries around her that appear to be lore descended. A couple of senators from the local assembly, and a large, thin space cruiser comes down on the main runway. It sort of lands flat on the tarmac. Alara and Ursa, you recognize 100% that this is a Farside City ship. And the ramp descends, and you see a procession of Lady Lunar's honor guard come down, sort of dressed in these long blue robes, holding spears, with sort of these ornate headdresses on their heads. And they form a hallway on either side of the offloading ramp, and two figures make their way down the ramp. One of whom both of you recognize. He is a blue-skinned alien wearing a military uniform with a blaster strapped to his side. He's kind of got a deep purple beard and close-cropped hair and just sinister red eyes. Alara and Ursa, you recognize him as Zoth Roke, who was your primary torturer while you were under the care of your aunt. And the figure behind him, sort of a tall, thin lady with long black hair, dressed in a very fancy white coat with a pair of mismatched blue and green eyes. Who you do not recognize.
This is getting out of hand.
Ursa starts almost like breathing very heavily, almost like hyperventilating, and she's clutching onto Alara's arm, like digging her nails into her arm.
Yeah, Alara has put her other hand on top of Ursa's and is working at keeping her own emotions in check. Not wanting to cause an outburst, but is very confused by. So, do we recognize this third person? Is this someone we have seen before?
This is a completely new person. You've never seen her before. But she looks
Other
very
than
much
her.
like she could be your sister.
Yes, she does. So just trying to watch both of them, probably take a couple steps back to blend back into the crowd.
Ursa will sort of mind link to Alara, like, we need to go.
Yes, we do. Before we're noticed. Though, yeah, let's just keep slipping backwards, slowly, carefully. But I do want to see what they're doing before we leave.
Okay.
How visibly upset are you? Is anybody else in the group noticing?
They're probably noticing Ursa.
Alara will make an attempt to not be. I can't guarantee how effective it will be.
Don't have a motion sense in this character.
Nope.
But,
Aelin
But-
don't know.
but I do have
But I can't spell
extended.
fear.
No, I do have my extended hearing and acute hearing, so theoretically I could hear them shuffling backwards. I will make a perception check to see if I notice that.
Okay.
There's a 26,
Yeah, they're not being particularly subtle.
and I'll just Aelin will just kind of file that away. She won't turn to speak to them or to notice them, because that would draw attention, and she realizes that they are trying to avoid that. So she'll just kind of incline her head to the left a little bit and keep watching this delegation wander down their boarding ramp.
Awesome. Well, the two
And
of
the
them. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing the twins would see if they notice anything is the ears kind of twitch backwards, catching the sound of them moving.
Excellent.
My hand is shifted to rest gingerly on the pommel of my sword. Just in case these go sideways.
Chimera feels
That is correct.
nothing.
Chimera doesn't deal in emotional responses. But the two of them, they will make their way over to Prime Consul Tamira Vaughn, and they will. The man in front, he will sort of give a small bow of his head. He will say, "It is my deepest regret that Lady Celine is not able here to greet you herself. However, her niece is here to act on her behalf, Lady Astaria." And the possible triplet of the two twins takes a step forward and almost robotically bows low and says, "Yes, I am here to serve at your pleasure, Prime Consul Tamira Vaughn. Whatever Europa needs, our fellow lunar delegation is happy to provide it." And you see a number of other Farside City people beginning to make their way down the ramp carrying crates of supplies. There's a couple of, there's probably 10 to 20 large apes with them, sort of with thick white fur, stomping their way forward. Each of them has a big collar around their neck, and they're the ones doing the primary lifting. There's a few other Farside City soldiers interspersed with them. And Tamira and the two of them will turn around and start to make their way into the city. Is there anything... before they do that, I would like both Alara and Ursa to make a perception check.
Like, we should probably make a stealth check at some point.
My God, 13.
27.
Panicking, I don't see shit.
Yeah, Ursa, you don't notice anything, but Alara, you feel a slight ping in your twin telepathy, and you think you see Astaria start to look in your direction before she turns back to the delegation.
Just gonna immediately shut down the connection as soon as we feel it, but probably not soon enough.
If she noticed, she doesn't do anything about it. You see they continue to make their way off with the other politicians.
So did you feel that? Now, having to whisper out loud.
I feel what? Terror?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, yes, there was something else in the connection. For the briefest moment, and then that woman, she almost looked in our direction.
Who was that woman? There's only ever been two of us. What niece?
I don't... Clone? Robot?
She was talking a little mechanically.
We need to find out where they're going.
We need to leave. We can come back later when we're more prepared. You know that I want to figure this out as much as you do, but there's nothing that we're going to be able to do at this moment.
It is frightening when you're the rational one, but
And
yes,
you two are speaking out loud, correct?
at this moment, yeah.
Quietly, but you probably could still hear.
Well, you
Um,
did step away from the group a little bit.
Well, as soon as the procession is left and they go to walk off with the other two, I'm going to pull the other Chimera and myself and Aelin over to the twins. I'm guessing friends from home. And by friends, I mean people we don't want to run into again.
Perhaps.
That's a valid answer. Don't. This is not me judging, but to be clear, all of us have family. I'm sure we'd rather not run into.
These people are bad people. She sort of touches the scar on her eyebrow as she says that.
That man, Zoth, is among the worst of them. The woman is
An imposter.
at the very least.
We need to find out what's going on with them, but we need to prepare. I can't risk anything going out just willy-nilly.
I would like to know more about what they're truly up to here, but don't want to get in a fight with them. It's going to be a complicated situation. One that we can take care of.
Aelin,
Yes.
would you like to go take a stroll? See what we see. Hear what
Why,
you hear.
why, Captain? I thought you'd never ask. We thought you'd never ask. And she'll offer her arm for you to take it.
That's not.
You two, if you'd like to, if you feel more comfortable, can go back to the Marion, and we can loop you into what we over here. We won't draw too much. Well, okay, we're gonna draw a lot of attention, but we won't draw the wrong kind of attention.
This is true.
Yeah, the idea is to be attention drawing, but not for the reasons we wish to draw attention for.
Sir Flynn, can I ask a question of you?
Of course.
If you happen to see a man with thick black hair, bright blue eyes, and a scar on his jaw, could you just let me know?
Certainly.
Thank you. Alara, we should take our leave for now.
Chimera, will you go back to the ship with them?
Yes.
For now.
And if you ever need to bypass the entrance to get into and off the ship, the passcode is Sherwood.
Shirley?
Sherwood.
Sherwood. Okay.
Captain, I can't thank you enough for this. This is, you don't need to do this, but I do appreciate it.
Why, whatever do you mean? We are just walking around, checking out this new delegation that has arrived to Starhaven. We are not doing anything surreptitious at all, are we?
No, I suppose you aren't.
Well, I hope you do enjoy your walk. We will meet you back at the ship.
Awesome. So for both Aelin and Flynn, I would like either a stealth or a deception check.
Do.
Because I know you were thinking about blending in by pretending to actually belong there, which I would call a deception check.
Well, if we're walking around the promenade while everything's kind of happening, I would imagine there's still a lot of people filing out and everything. So blending into the
Yes.
background with deception is always a good thing. I will spend a hero point because I have them and it's 9:45.
And you said perception or I'm
Dis-
sorry, deception or
Or stealth.
Stealth. 26 on my deception.
29 stealth.
Awesome. So both of you are able to avoid notice as you follow the crowd of onlookers. You follow behind the delegation. It looks like the apes and the various soldiers have broken off to start loading supplies elsewhere in the draft snarl, while the political figures, including Consul Tamara Vaughn, are making their way down the promenade. Looks like they're heading towards the central palace in the middle of Starhaven.
Does it look like they're talking
It does
to the
appear.
delegation?
It looks like Zoth is talking to them. It looks like Astaria is quietly following behind.
Okay. I would like to see if I can listen in with my extended acute hearing or accurate hearing.
Sure.
Again, we are at the end of the night. I will go ahead and re-roll that perception. The 24.
With the 24, as you are sort of keying in your acute hearing, you can hear Zoth's voice over the sort of the steady hum of the city around you. And he seems to be going on at length about the benefits of working alongside Farside City and making sure to diversify the supplies you're receiving from the system. We are neighbors, after all, and there is an inherent benefit to not relying solely on Earth for your basic necessities while you figure out your independence. Sort of a general, just almost like a sales pitch to Consul Tamara Vaughn, offering aid, offering military protection, and you hear that they are trying to establish an embassy with Starhaven and Farside City.
Okay. Aelin won't say anything to Flynn about any of that until at some point I'm assuming we will break off from following. Probably Aelin will listen in long enough to get all that information, kind of look for that easy way to split off with the crowd and pull Flynn along.
Aelin, you do hear one other thing with your
Okay.
acute hearing. You hear very
Accurate.
Your
It's
accurate
accurate.
hearing. You hear very quietly. Astaria turns to one of the soldiers, and she says, "Eric, keep up. I'm nervous." And she goes to grab his hand.
Ah, bitch.
Do I notice? Am I able to key in on where they are and see that person she was talking to?
Yeah, his back is turned to you, but he is dressed in one of the Royal Guard uniforms.
With that really big headdress.
And he does extend a hand out to grab hers and give her a sort of a strengthening squeeze for a second before dropping back into formation.
Okay.
Do I have to spot that visually?
Give me a perception check.
21.
Yes, you, Flynn, you will also notice that visually.
I will try to make a point of filing away his height, his build, his body language, if possible.
Give me an insight check. And Wiki, she said, "Eric, please keep up. I'm nervous."
26.
With a 26, you think that there may be some underlying conditioning in Eric's body language. He doesn't seem to be 100% in control of his faculties.
Yeah, I'm also just trying to look at him, so if I see him later, I have a better Could it possibly be the same guy since I can't get a good look at his face? So.
You think seeing him in a sheet with a big headdress, you would be able to notice him again. So either in his royal armor or his Vegas showgirl costume.
Same difference.
Carnival. Carnival.
And you guys are able to break off at that point.
Okay.
And they continue onward into the palace. I don't know how far along you follow them, but that is their intention.
Yeah, just basically long enough that when we break off, there's still a good number of onlookers that would be breaking off because no commoners beyond this point type of thing.
Who you call commoner? Oh.
Well, you know, we're not credentialed nobles. Well, not unforged document credentialed nobles. Well, we found that exercise sufficient. Did you?
Hopefully you overheard some stuff that I couldn't pick up.
We did.
Kind of glanced to the ears.
We are good at picking up bits of information. Shall we return to the ship?
I think so.
We should keep an eye out, though, make sure we are not followed, in case we drew attention. But I would say we work well together.
I would agree with that assessment.
And since we've swapped sides, done the turnaround, Aelin will offer her other arm out for him to hook in, and then they will walk back to the ship. Well, Aelin will saunter back to the ship.
Perfect. You're able to make it back to the ship. No muss, no fuss.
Meet up with the rest of the crew. I'm assuming, where are you guys hanging out?
So we were planning to go to the ship, yes?
Yeah, we came back to the ship, so I was just wondering where you guys are in the ship. Are you in engineering? Are you in the cargo bay? Are you up the bridge?
If nothing needs worked on, Chimera will probably just be standing on the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, probably just going right to the bridge.
Yeah, obviously I'll go with everybody else.
Okay.
Oh, Ursa's in the cargo hold throwing shit.
With her mind.
Try not to destroy everything.
Try not to destroy.
I'll unalive you with my mind.
Yeet with my mind. So getting back on the ship, Aelin will she's basically claimed the communications chair, and she'll go and sit in it and cross her legs and kind of put her hands behind her head, kind of entwining her fingers in her hair. Well, the Farsiders wish to set up an embassy and have a more beneficial trade with Starhaven than with Earth. We wonder why they are so set on pushing the Earthlings off of Starhaven.
Doubt they mean to corrupt Starhaven.
Well, we think that you know more about what's going on in terms of them. You are Farsiders. Is there something that do they have some sort of quarrel with Earth?
Oh, they're not exactly good neighbors. Mostly paranoid about Earth.
Which is funny because it is the closest body to the planet.
Exactly. Though, from what I understand, most people on Earth aren't fully aware of the city's existence.
Do either of you know an Eric?
Ursa lets out a gasp. Did you see him?
We heard the name. the man in question took the hand of the one who looks a bit like both of you.
He did what?
She said she was nervous, and he gave her a reassuring squeeze of the hand.
Ah, yes. Well, I I'm going to excuse myself for just a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
Did we say something wrong?
She just sort of like rushes out of the room before answering you.
Seeing that, Aelin will look at Alara.
No, Aelin, it wasn't you that said something wrong. I should go follow her before she destroys the ship. Was there anything else?
Mention or not, depending on her how she'll react, but something was off about his body language. More like he was conditioned, responding to nonverbal cues, just his body language didn't seem to be his own.
Like he was being controlled.
Possibly.
I'll go let him know. And thank you, all of you. This is another that I owe you all.
Check into the crew list. But also, thank you so much, Goblin Cave, for rating us with a party of 7. We really appreciate that. Welcome to Starhaven. You know, I always take my heart warm and popping, fresh out of the oven, so I appreciate that.
It's even better when you offered her up to Captain Planet. Heart!
It's weird how we find a new heart every episode.
Golly, Ma. Oh, sorry. Was that?
Ursa, how far are you going?
She'll probably go towards like where the shower and the bed chambers and stuff are. Or bed chambers. But just bed chambers are on ships, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But you are staying on the ship, you're not exiting the ship?
No, I'll stay on the ship.
Okay.
I'm not trying to die. I already did that. Or almost did that this game.
1 year death per game is doing it.
I don't know why they think I'm out to get them. There is no reason for that.
Except for you almost killed me this episode and Calvin last episode, but okay.
Because we ignored you.
From
Wait for next episode. So Ursa, you run in. What are you doing when you get down into the bunk?
She just sort of like collapses onto the shower floor and is just like sobbing. She hasn't even turned the shower on. She's just sobbing.
Alara, you arrive hearing your sister sobbing in the shower.
Just going to sit down next to her, put an arm around her, pull her close. Sister, I'm sorry you had to hear that.
I can't believe he's alive and with her. We don't even know who she is.
I don't think he's with her. Not in the way you're imagining. Flynn told me that he seemed like he was being controlled or compelled somehow. Or some conditioning, not his own will.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse.
I wasn't sure how you'd feel either, just thought you ought to know. It's possible the man you loved is still in there somewhere.
I thought he was dead, but I never stopped hoping. You think there's hope for him?
Honestly, I don't know. We don't know who this woman is or what we're dealing with. But we have people that can help us now. And we have a plan. If we could just get the Moonstone back. If we get stronger, we can take the fight to them. We can get Eric back. We can get our home back. And deal with the usurper who took it.
Yes, that would be best. You didn't have to come after me. I really do just need a minute.
No, yes, I wasn't going to leave you alone. Promise, no matter what else happens, I'm not going to leave you alone, Ursa.
I won't leave you. No matter how many acid monsters we fight.
Yes, but still covered in acid. I couldn't get rid of the smell.
I know. I'm gonna have to wash this coat like 18 times.
Yes. Yeah. And just sit there as long as Ursa needs.
She'll
Well,
cry a little bit more and then they can head back to
well, I think with that touching bit of drama, that's probably a good place to end our episode this week.
Ah, who is she?
I think I have earned my Alex what the hell for the recap of Starhaven.
For real.
this impersonating asshole.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited about Astaria. I hope everybody loves her as much as I do.
I hate her already.
Good. Maybe I'll make everybody forget about Sophie this season.
Now you just brought it up.
Good luck with that.
So thank you everybody for sticking out with us tonight. We really appreciate you having fun adventures with us in space. As for updates around the network, tomorrow night we will be back here for City of Destiny. Wiki will never ever forget Sophie. Thursday we'll have a new blog post coming up, and Friday all of our new YouTube episodes will be loaded up onto the website untoldstoriesproject.com, and we'll be back here for Guardians of Haven, same bat time, same bat channel next week. I want to pass it over to everybody else to say goodbye and plug anything they want to, and then we'll get out of here, starting with Kevin, who I almost called Chimera.
He'll respond to both.
My character, yes, I'll respond to both. So I have been Chimera, I'm figuring out things just about the same time you are. So it's all a big mystery to me. So tune in next week, and who knows what we'll find out. Over to you, Jonesy.
Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. It was really awesome. I officially have a crew. Woohoo! So I'm stoked. Yeah. And as far as other things to check out, we are adding the Cthulhu Awakens to video on demand on YouTube. So if you didn't check out our Cthulhu Awakens live stream and you want to check it out, it'll definitely be trickling up over there. Other than that, yeah, tomorrow night I have an awesome game. So yeah, by all means, check out other stuff. And with that, I will kick it down to Kat.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. And like I think I said last week, thanks for sticking with me as my British accent is constantly adapting and changing. I'll get there eventually, don't worry. I am having a great time with this game so far. I hope you guys are too. Watch all the other games on this channel. I'm sure we have some one-shots coming up eventually that are good. And yeah, so I'll pass it to Andy.
Yep. I don't have too much to plug tonight, but thank everyone for sticking it out with us and joining us. We really do appreciate the support. Also, much like Kat, my not accent, but my speech patterns are a work in progress. So I am continuing to work on the we part of my speech rather than the I, because playing someone that speaks in the multiples is different. So bear with me as I get that under control and hopefully continue to Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to creep people out or if I just want to make it sound really cool. I
Both.
guess maybe a little bit of both. Yeah. So, uh, with that, I will pass it over to Calvin.
Yeah, I mean, much the same. I'm working on my accent. I think I might have lost it a couple of times, but I certainly gained the gift of prophecy, apparently, because I said, "Wouldn't it be nice if there was 3 of us?" And
It was very wild that
greedy.
it was very wild that you said that tonight.
goddamn. So yeah, stick around and see what the hell is going on here, as well as all the all the other stuff that's happening on this channel. There's some cool things coming up. I hope they are cool. Um, Also, of course, I'm over on the One with Dice channel on YouTube. New podcast episode went up. So if you want to come by and hear me talk about how much I love playing on my friends' games, come on and swing by.
Wholesome.
Very.
Calvin gets to play all the best games. That's the trick.
It's
True.
it's basically just me. Yeah, it's just that. I just say how much I like being in all the cool games.
I am terrified to hear what you said about getting killed last week. Almost getting killed last week.
Mm.
Speaking of one-shots, we do have a one-shot coming up with somebody here as the GM, which is going to be a ton of fun on April 20th, so 16 days.
Boy.
If Calvin wants to talk about that for a little bit before we get out of here.
I am certainly planning a Lancer one shot, which I'll probably speak about a bit more in the future. I'm still still doing that thing where I'm double thinking all my plans, but I only have like 2 weeks, so I'll have it done by then. No, by next week I'll definitely be able to say more about it. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to it.
It's going to be a ton of fun.
Hashtag deadlines.
Yeah.
I needed the pressure to make it work.
Well,
Speaking of deadlines, we've got Origins Game Fair coming up in June, and some of us are running games and have to prep them, right, Alex?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Not just you.
Yeah.
I was working on mine this weekend, so
It's me. It's me. I need to do my events.
It's me. I also need to do my events.
Wiki needs to do her events too. See? But it's going to be a lot of fun. If you are going to be planning to come to Origins Game Fair in June here in Columbus, Ohio, you'll get to hang out with the USP crew and play some games if you sign up. So we'll definitely have a blog post about that soon. CRTM. Also, if you are a member of the Mutants and Masterminds Patreon, I will be doing the April Mutants and Masterminds developer actual play, and we'll be doing a Project Freedom one shot. So some anti-heroes trying to do something shady for the government. It's gonna be a ton of fun. And I think that's all I want to talk about this week. Yeah, cool. Everybody, thank you again for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Goblin Cave TV, for stopping by to rate us, and we'll see you soon. Have a great week. Make good choices.
Bye.